Welcome to episode 12 of 100 Days of Data. I'm Jonas, an AI professor, here to explore the foundations of data in AI with you.
And I, Amy, an AI consultant, excited to bring these concepts to life with stories and practical insights. Glad you're joining us.
Today, we'll dive into a tool that quietly powers so much of our data work, JSON.stringify. It might sound a bit technical, but it really plays a pivotal role in how data moves and lives in the digital world.
That's right, Jonas. If you've ever wondered how complex data gets transformed into something a system or app can easily use and share, JSON.stringify is often behind the scenes making that magic happen.
Let's start simple. JSON stands for JavaScript Object Notation. It's a lightweight data format that's easy for humans to read and write, and equally easy for machines to parse and generate.
And stringify? That basically means turning your data, like an object or an array, into a string. It's like translating your information into a common language every system can understand.
Exactly. Think of a library full of books. Each book is an object with various details: title, author, pages. JSON.stringify is like turning that entire book into a neatly typed up letter that you can send anywhere.
Or to put it in a business context, imagine a car manufacturer collecting sensor readings from their vehicles all over the country. Before sending that data to their central system, they need to convert those readings into a consistent format. JSON strings are perfect for this because they're uniform and compact.
That's a great example. Now, technically, JSON.stringify is a function native to the JavaScript programming language, but the idea of serializing data, converting it into a string format for sharing or storage, is universal across many programming environments.
And for companies, that serialization is critical. You can't just shove raw data everywhere and expect systems to understand it. When a healthcare provider sends patient data from local clinics to a centralized database, that information needs to be standardized, structured, and secure. JSON formats and functions like JSON.stringify enable that.
There's a historical angle, too. Before JSON became popular, data was often exchanged in XML format, which was bulkier and harder for both humans and machines to handle.
I remember planning projects where XML meant more bandwidth, more processing power, and eventually more headaches. JSON was a breath of fresh air, easy to read, easy to write, and lighter weight.
It helped fuel the rapid rise of web APIs, interfaces that let different software talk to each other over the internet smoothly. JSON.stringify is the gatekeeper at the sending end, ensuring that data packets are properly formatted.
In practice, I see JSON.stringify underpinning everything from e-commerce sites syncing shopping carts to banking apps sending transaction details securely. Without it, data communication would be chaotic.
Now, let's look a bit closer at what happens during stringify. When you pass an object into JSON.stringify, you're converting all its nested structures, numbers, strings, arrays, even nested objects, into a string representation.
It's like compressing a detailed map into a concise message you can send over a text without losing the root. Then on the other end, you use something called JSON.parse to convert that string back into usable data.
Correct. That process, stringify followed by parse, is fundamental to data exchange in modern systems. But there are some nuances and pitfalls we should be aware of.
For example,
well, JSON.stringify cannot serialize functions or special objects like dates in their original form. Functions get dropped, and dates turn into strings.
That's something I often warn clients about. In a healthcare analytics project, if you're sending timestamps, they might get converted to string format, so the receiving system needs to know how to interpret those correctly, or you risk data integrity problems.
Exactly. So understanding what JSON.stringify does and does not do is crucial when designing data flows.
And it's not just about sending data. Storing data in databases or files often uses JSON strings because they're flexible and compatible with many technologies.
Today, many NoSQL databases like MongoDB store documents in a JSON-like format. JSON.stringify often sits at the heart of the process for persisting or retrieving this data.
Right. And in retail, for example, when you gather customer behavior data, what they clicked, viewed, or purchased, that detail is often collected as JSON strings before being fed into analytics platforms.
So it's fair to say JSON.stringify is the unsung hero of data serialization. It's what makes seamless sharing and storage of structured data possible across diverse systems.
And speaking from experience, I can tell you that having a solid grasp of JSON and Stringify means you can better troubleshoot data issues or architect integrations thoughtfully.
Absolutely. Let me summarize the core takeaway from a theoretical perspective. JSON.stringify is the method to serialize, convert objects into JSON strings, making data transfer and storage standardized and interoperable.
And to put it simply for business folks, JSON.stringify helps your data speak a common language when it moves between apps, services, or teams. Master this and you're a step closer to making data-driven decisions that actually work.
Speaking of which, next time we'll explore JSON.parse, the counterpart to Stringify, which allows systems to convert those JSON strings back into usable data.
If you're enjoying this, please like or rate us 5 stars in your podcast app. We'd love to hear your questions or comments about JSON and data exchange. Maybe we'll feature them in future episodes. Until tomorrow, stay curious, stay data-driven.